Coming up on Metaverse Express, billions of dollars lost to hackers. I'll show you the latest numbers. Plus, if you invest in the Solana network, you could be one of the 10,000 people targeted in the latest heist. And find out why hackers are going after cross-chain bridges. I'll have an expert take us on a deep dive on that topic. This is Metaverse Express, your world, your news. I'm your host, Mona. Thanks for joining me today. And be sure to subscribe below for your weekly news update. All right, guys, if you're ready, let's jump right into today's top stories. Now, $2 billion, that's exactly how much money cross-chain bridge hackers stole just this year. And that's according to a recent Chainalysis report. Now, the attacks account for nearly 70% of all crypto funds stolen in 2022. North Korean-linked hackers are believed to be responsible for 1 billion of those funds. Now, Chainalysis says the thefts are a major threat to building trust in blockchain technology. Investors on the Solana network are also picking up the pieces this week after hackers targeted hot or internet-connected crypto wallets. This latest attack followed a $200 million crypto heist on the crypto bridge NOMAD. The incident raised numerous concerns about the security of both the Solana network and hot wallets. Now, reports say upwards of $8 million were drained from nearly 10,000 wallets. So with the rise of security breaches and stolen funds, how can investors keep their money safe? And what can networks do to prevent similar hacks? To get some answers, I spoke with Ben Kaplan, a crypto analyst at Walk to the Moon Capital. Hey, Ben, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. Well, let's get right into it. So $2 billion right now have been stolen from cross-chain bridges just this year. That's a report that came out just last week. We just experienced the NOMAD exploit, which, by the way, was so unique. We'll talk about that in a minute. We also had Solana wallets stolen in another hack last week. This is becoming somewhat concerning and, of course, also a threat to building trust. Can you first explain what in the world is happening? Why are hackers attracted to these bridges?
So hackers they're attracted to bridges because that is the single choke point in terms of blockchain security. So if we're talking about blockchain to blockchain interactions, the blockchain's inherent nature is immutable. There's a reason why Bitcoin hasn't been hacked in the 10, 11 years of existence because you need to get 51% of all the miners to do the malicious attack. However, bridges are blockchain to blockchain. So there's different types of blockchains. You have Ethereum, you have Solana, and they can't really talk with each other. So bridges, that's that piece of communication where if you want to take your Ethereum from Ethereum mainnet and use it on Solana, you have to get a wrapped version of it. That is just a synthetic version of the Ethereum from the mainnet, which is locked into the smart contract on the bridge. So therefore, you could use it on Solana.
So why is it so attractive to hackers? Is it because there's a lot of money going back and forth on these bridges?
So one, there is a huge amount of money on these bridges, and two, they are the most vulnerable. Smart contracts, there's always bugs that, the best hackers in the world, if they sniff around a little bit, they will always find the exploit. And these bridge attacks, they've all been traced back to the Lazarus group. And if you are not familiar with the Lazarus group, they are one of the most notorious hacker groups that are based out of North Korea. Obviously, we
Mhm.
know the North Korea economy is not good due to worldwide sanctions. So the way that they're able to fund, whether that be nuclear technology, more hackers, or just really any government infrastructure, is through attacking these bridges because one, they're more vulnerable, and two, there's a lot of money already on them.
Right. So, what is exactly the difference between, let's say, the Nomad hack and then we, of course, had the Solana wallet hacks as well? What's the difference between the two?
So the Nomad hack, that is your traditional bridge hack, Most of these hacks that have drained over $2 billion have been bridges. However, the Solana hack, that was due to an issue with Phantom. Phantom is a self custodial hot wallet, meaning that you use it in your browser. And these types of wallets, although they are 99% safe, they have that 1% more risk than what your cold wallet has. There was an issue with some technology from within, so it only affected Phantom users, and that's how they were able to do unauthorized transactions, which led to a loss of funds.
So they're not correlated
They
in
are
any
not
way.
correlated. They're not, they're
Okay.
correlated in terms that they're both hacks, but they're two different kinds. And I'm not sure if the Solana hack was done by the Lazarus Group, but the Lazarus Group has been tied to all of these bridge hacks. The Ronin one for 600 million, Nomad, and Harmony Bridge, all tied to the Lazarus Group.
There has to be some type of weakness in the infrastructure of these bridges. What is the weakness?
So the weakness is that we have to take an asset from blockchain one, Ethereum, and we have to bring it to blockchain two, Solana. We can't just use our Ethereum on Solana. The code is completely different. They are two different blockchains and they have their own set of rules. So, in order to get our Ethereum to Solana, we have to put it in a smart contract. A bridge is just another word for a smart contract where we lock up our original Ethereum still on the Ethereum mainnet in a smart contract. However, we are given a synthetic version of Ethereum on Solana, wrapped Ethereum, which can then be used within the ecosystem. And wrapped Ethereum, that is a type of coin that is able to be used in Solana, while an ERC20 is not.
When it comes to these bridge hacks, what can developers do? How can they prevent this from happening in the future?
Metamona, that is a phenomenal question. And
The $1,000,000 question, huh?
that is the $1 million question. And to be honest, we don't know. Blockchain interoperability is probably one of the most important things that needs to be solved within this whole entire space. If it was solved right now, we wouldn't be having all these issues. So there's a lot of people who are very excited about the Cosmos ecosystem. What they use is Cosmos IBC, Inter Blockchain Committee. So that allows all these different applications to be connected to each other. And since they connect to Cosmos IBC, there is no risk of bridge. If you want to bridge assets from Ethereum to Cosmos IBC, then there is risk. So, the new meta might be these decentralized sovereign app chains. So, for example, you've heard of Uniswap, correct?
Mhm.
Instead of Uniswap being built on Ethereum, they would go to Cosmos and they would develop their own blockchain, the Uniswap blockchain. And that would allow them to connect to all these different blockchains, which would just be applications. And then they wouldn't have to deal with the risk of bridging.
So, in the meantime, while this happens and we don't know how long it's going to take, is our crypto safe? What do we have to do as investors to stay safe?
You see one of these bad boys? This is a
Mm.
cold wallet. This is the best thing you could do to keep your crypto safe. The name of the game in crypto is self custody, meaning that we own our assets. You keep your assets in a bank, the bank owns them technically. We don't. So there's two types of way that you could have self custody of your assets through a cold wallet or through a hot wallet. See, Phantom, who just got hacked, they're a hot wallet. They're connected to the internet. That runs risk. If you click and run a malicious smart contract, you will give them permissions that can completely wipe your crypto. With this bad boy, it is impossible to use for most people. You have to connect it to the internet, connect it to your computer, which gives you that extra layer of security.
I actually have one of those. So I hope more people get to use their cold wallet. Let
Mhm.
me also ask you, is this going to affect the price of crypto at all, in your opinion?
Yes and no. So for the bridges that got hacked, for example, the Harmony bridge, yes, that price will be affected. That ecosystem is essentially dead. But in terms of Bitcoin and Ethereum, not really. See, if there was a bridge that had, let's say, $1 billion stolen and 800 billion of that billion was Bitcoin, and the hacker just force sell and the hacker just market sold it right away, then there would be price impact. But a lot of the times, these hacks are on assets that one aren't that big in terms of actual market cap, and two, they just keep the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and hold it. They send it through Tornado Cash, and then poof, it's gone.
Mm. All right. Well, we definitely have to keep an eye on those prices. Ben, thank you so much for your insight. I know that's valuable information for our viewers at home. Now, that was Ben Kaplan from Walk to the Moon Capital. Let me know what you think about this topic, or if you have any questions. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. If you'd like to hear more from Metaverse Express, you know what to do. Please like the video, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next week with more news in the Metaverse.